Are you ready for the biggest, best, most prestigious bass fishing tournament in the world, the 2025 Classic? Let's preview it and predict what's going to happen. That's what we're going to talk about right now. And this vlog is brought to you by Red Tuna Shirts. It's a subscription box where you get the best, highest quality shirts with the best offshore fishing tackle charters from around the world on your shirts for like $25, give or take. It's a great fitting shirt. I have the first shirt on, one of these shirts that is long sleeve. They're super high quality. It's a great gift for people who are offshore fishermen or even bass fishermen. It's wonderful. The 2025 Classic is literally a couple months away, but I thought it might be time to preview and predict some of the things that are going to go on at Ray Roberts. Now, 56 of the elite anglers or elite contenders and anglers are going to go to Ray Roberts on March 21st through the 23rd. And the convention will be held in Fort Worth. You have to remember that in 2021, the Classic was held on Ray Roberts. Now, not all of the competitors that competed in the 2021 made the 2025, but there's several anglers that are going to be included in this that are probably going to be some of the favorites. Now, I was able to get a hold of Justin Wilson, who is with the Wilson Outdoor Connection. He's a guide out there. I wanted to know how or what he thought the lake was going to lay out to be. And he gave me some great information. But if you're looking for an unbelievable charter, check out his website. I'll put a link in the description below. When I talked to Justin, one of the things I want to know is this going to be a forward-facing sonar tournament? And he said yes. He made mention that the deeper water is usually better and that there's really good fish on Ray Roberts, but the numbers aren't as good. So it could be a tough tournament for some anglers. He said years ago there were hydrilla flats that made the Ray Roberts really good to fish. They've taken those away. But there's also, they flooded it or rain has happened and they have a lot of structure of cement foundations in the water that will give the bass an opportunity to hide or to ambush forage fish at those points. So anglers that aren't using forward-facing sonar are probably going to key into brush piles and those foundations from houses to catch their limit or to catch fish. He also said back in the day, a 30-pound bag was really quite amazing. But he said you're going to see some 30-pound, some 29s, some 23s, and then you're going to get those 15, 16s, 5 or 6 pounders. It's not going to be a slugfest. It's not going to be a big bass thing. The bass will be just a little bit pre-spawn, but you're not going to have the numbers of big fish. It'll be a lot of quality, decent cookie cutter fish that'll probably have the winner win. And they'll need to have that kicker fish. Justin mentioned that the water temp is really key. April usually is the spawn time, but lately the spawn has been about a month later than what you really thought. But again, it's not going to be giant fish. You're going to catch a quality fish, need some kickers, but the guys who can do that will have a chance to win the most prestigious, best, biggest tournament there is, and that's the Classic. Now in 2021, you had Hank Cherry who won, but second place was Matt Array. Chris Johnson came in 8th, Drew Cook came in 9th, Patrick Walters 10th, Corey Johnston 11th, Chris Zaldane 38th, and Chris Zaldane should be one of the favorites, even though he didn't do well in 2021. I don't remember why he didn't do well. Maybe it just was he wasn't scoping as much and did something else. But Chris should be one of the favorites because this is his home lake. This is where he's made his bread and butter. Chris will be in the mix for that title. But so will all those other anglers who are scopers, who find the fish in deeper water. Now, who are the favorites? Well, anyone who is a forward-facing sonar dominant angler is probably going to have a pretty good shot at winning. But there's a few guys who have done really well in Texas waters and are kind of sorta their home ponds. Anglers like Trey McKinney, who won last year in the elites and then also in the opens, I believe, I could be wrong, won in Texas. So you have to think Trey McKinney, especially as well as he knows forward-facing sonar and does well in Texas, he could be one of those anglers to watch for. I think you have to put your money on Jordan Lee. I think you have to put your money on Chris Zaldane. I think Lee Livesey is probably going to be one of the favorites. Ben Milliken, even in this weird situation that he has, if he's fishing the Classic and because it's in Texas, you have to give him a good nod. those 5 anglers are probably going to do very well. And all of them are forward-facing sonar anglers. That's going to be the key. No offense to John Cox and some of these other guys, Scott Martin, that don't use the technology as well as those 5 guys. They're going to struggle. Can they catch some big fish? Of course. The sun does shine on a dog's ass occasionally. I'd love to see John Cox win it. But I think because Bassmaster and the elites made no real drastic changes in technology and prohibiting it, I think the anglers that are forward-facing sonar dominant are going to be the anglers that we hear the most from this year, and especially at the Classic. But look for Jay Shakurat and Chris and Corey Johnston. You look for Jacob Fouts. There's so many great anglers at the Classic. And my sentimental favorite will be Bobby Bakewell. Why? For years, we've donated money from the radio show to the Teen Sport Fishing. And he's a Seminole Junior Anglers, or one of the teen sport fishing people. He was just recently given some money from the Gumbo Cook-Off to continue his pursuit of being a professional angler. And as someone who's donated a lot to those organizations, I would love to see him do really, really well. So I'm really rooting for you, Bobby. That's the best way to put it. Who's your favorite for the 2025 Classic? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks for all the people who comment on the channel. Thanks to all the new subscribers, all the new members. Remember, Friday night, I'm going to try to do a live video. Take your questions, have some interviews, answer some questions at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're around, check us out on the YouTube channel and have some fun. Put your comments below and tell me what you think. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.